You've made it to Chiro Hustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This week's episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Posture Screen, Imaging Services, Zinget Solutions, Chiro Moguls, 5-Star Management, Chiro Health USA, Local Gold, Rhino Coaching, Mahalo Wellness, Chiro Thin, Peter Goldman's Zone School of Healing, Go Get Talks, Fit to Lift, The Goodman Factor, Unmarket Your Practice, and McCaffrey Clinical Mentoring. Let's hustle.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 131 of Chiro Hustle. I'm your co-host Luke, and here's your host Jim.
So today we had the opportunity of interviewing Big Marv, and if you guys want to hear the most polarizing episode ever, stay tuned. So this is episode 131 of the Chiro Hustle podcast, and today we have a special guest, and this is Big Marv. And Big Marv is somebody that helps us with marketing. So this is right up your alleys, chiropractors. Any of you guys that are looking to automate and build out ClickFunnels and email sequencing and real marketing, that's what Big Marv specializes in. And we've linked up with him a couple months now, and he's really changed our worlds, and I know he can do the same for you. So welcome to the show, Big Marv.
Thank you guys for having me. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys. It's always a blast. How you guys doing today?
We're good now that you helped us fix this live stream.
Well, I like to be valuable, so we help each other out.
Yes. So first question for you as we jump right into episode 131 with you is, tell us a little bit about your chiropractic background, and when was the first time you actually had an opportunity to go see a chiropractor?
So back in 2010, I was in a bad car accident. It was a head-on collision going downhill in the rain, 50 miles an hour, in a 1987 Volkswagen Golf. And it pinched my sciatic nerve in the accident. I couldn't move. I was freaking out on the paramedics because I could not feel my legs, right? I was telling my legs you don't know how weird that is to, walk every day and you don't think about walking, right? You just get up and walk. And after this accident, I took my seatbelt off and I could not get out the car because my legs would not move. It was such a fucking weird experience, So I went to the hospital, found out that I compressed vertebrae in my spine, and my sciatic nerve actually pinched in between my hip bone. And they were like, there's no fix for nerve damage. We're going to give you some pain pills and help you walk with a walker and send you home. So that's what I did for 2 weeks. They had an in-hospital person give me PT until I could walk painfully with a walker up and down the halls in the hallway. Then they sent me home with a bottle of Percocets. Well, I'm a web developer, right? A programmer. I need to sit on the computer all day. So I would take these pain pills and then just pass out at my fucking desk. It was ridiculous. And it was a couple weeks went by like that, trying to learn how to walk again, just deal with it with the pain pills. My buddy came over and we smoked a bunch of weed together. And he was telling me about this new chiropractor that he used. And in my mind, I was like, nah, that's a bunch of fucking hippie bullshit, because the way he's talking about it, it's it's so amazing. It's life-changing. You got to try it, blah, blah, blah. And he's getting me, we're smoking weed, and then my back stops hurting. And I get up and I walk to my kitchen and I get a drink without my walker. And I'm like, oh shit. And then later that night, I stayed up for 13 hours and built a website from scratch. And I haven't built a website in 6 weeks at this point. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to listen to this asshole. And so the chiropractor that he was with, they actually did this special thing, right? If you go to his office and you watch this 2-hour informational video that basically tells you about chiropractic care and what it does for you, et cetera, et cetera. You get your first session for free. You get a free x-ray, you get a free massage, and you get a free week of whatever supplements they recommend. Because their clinic was like an actual wellness clinic. It wasn't just chiropractic. He did chiropractic, nutrition, and he had massage therapists and physical therapists there. So anyways, I went and watched the 2-hour video. He did my x-ray and he adjusted me. And like, it was the first time in 2 months that I walked around, my back didn't hurt. It was insane. I was just like, okay, you got me. You know, like, because he didn't even give me numbers or anything at first. I just watched the video. Then he took me back and he did my x-rays. Then he adjusted me. Then he sent me to get a massage. Then he sat me down with his nutritionist who scanned my hand on this cool fucking hand scanner thing, and it printed out this thing of all the foods I've been eating, my fat percentages, and all this stuff. Then he brought me into his office and we went over my x-rays, and he had a wellness plan prepared of like how many times I'm going to see him. Then he had it worked out to where like the first 3 months I got to see him like pretty much every day. But then it went down to like 3 times a week, then 2 times a week. And like I didn't even think about the price, because like after he adjusted me, like I was able to walk around his office. Felt great. Like I was like, I'm hooked. So it was like $400 a month to like just go see him as much as I needed to as long as I was following his plan. And then I guess the supplements were another couple $100. But then after that, like I signed up to his plan and I never looked back. And then as I've been in chiropractic, I've got introduced to meditation and yoga, which is just, you know, boosted the chiropractic practice as well.
So let me ask you a question based on what you said. How old were you when you first had this accident?
So it's 2010. What is it, 2019 now? So 9 years ago. I'm 32 now. I don't know, 22, 20. I don't know. I can't do math.
So
23.
you're 23.
23, yeah.
So 23, you were in a walker.
Yeah.
And you were prescribed pain meds.
Mm-hmm.
And you weren't getting any better.
Nope.
And then
I wasn't able to work either.
So
because
all of a sudden,
pain meds make me so drowsy. Like, yeah, my back doesn't hurt, but all I can do is lay in fucking bed.
And all of a sudden, you were starting to, you know, waste away. Self-confidence was starting to go away. And then one of your hippie buddies was like, hey, go see this chiropractor.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it went. And I was like, well, I mean, I've been trying this and it's not working. So let me listen to this hippie bullshit.
So let me ask you a question based on what you just shared with us. What was your perception of chiropractors before you went in and actually had a miracle happen with your turnaround in health?
I had the interpretation that it was hippie medicine, you know, like it was all, you know how they've, like when they're doing new medicines, right? They'll have like sugar pills and then they'll have the actual pill.
Placebo.
Right. Placebo. So I thought it was all placebo medicine, you know, like the chiropractor gets you hyped up, he cracks your back, and then, you know, because I always figured it was like the equivalent of popping my fingers or whatever, you know. I'm just like, you know, like, so he's going to just crack my back and everything's going to magically be great. And I was like, no, it's bullshit. It's bullshit medicine. They're just trying to get you in there to sell you on supplements and yoga plans and all this other shit. And then I go there and it changed my life. And I'm like, okay, maybe it isn't just a bunch of hippie shit.
So fast forward to 2019, you meet me. What have you learned by working with us as a team and Team Chiro Hustle? And what is your perception now of what chiropractic is?
I think chiropractic is amazing and more people should know about it and like use it in their life, you know. It especially like because pills, your body can get addicted to them. In my opinion, we're all a big science experiment. So as long as you just take care of your physical, mental, and spiritual health, you'll be all right. without medication. Um, before working with you, as far as like just you as a person, like you as an individual, like I love you like a brother, dude. Like I feel like we've already been friends for years. Um, but as far as chiropractic, I always kind of stayed away from chiropractors, like just in business, because it's generally pretty boring and like they just care about the leads, give me the leads. But working with your network is, I can see it's more about value and just educating the community, educating the world, getting the message out there. And it's not just a bunch of boring, straight laced chiropractors that just want the leads. So it's like completely changed my perception on just chiropractors as a people, because like while I had like my home at that chiropractic office, he was still kind of straight laced and bougie, and I almost felt like inferior, like not inferior, but he would make me feel inferior when he talked to me. And most chiropractors to this point, I've felt that way, until I met you and your network, and I'm like, oh, there's a whole different world of chiropractors out there. There's not just all these bougie, straight laced motherfuckers that want the leads.
So, kind of give us a rundown of all the services that you provide to people and how it is or how it could help chiropractors if they were interested.
So my biggest specialty is automation and strategy, right? So I have a full team of copywriters, developers, designers, and automation specialists. Now my business partner is Double Up. He specializes in brand strategy, taking somebody that if you just have an idea of something, like educating the world on chiropractic care, right? He knows how to take your brand and coach you through what kind of content to create, what kind of presentation you want to get to attract the right kind of people. And so then you put us two together, we're personal brand specialists, where we take your personal brand, we map out a content strategy to take you from 0 to 100, using automation. Because I've spent over $30,000 the last 2 years buying courses trying to learn marketing and strategy and how to scale businesses online. And one of the biggest gaps I saw there was everybody teaches you the strategy and the theory. So you'll buy this big course, and at the end of it, you're like, okay, cool. I know I need ads. I know I need videos. I know I need funnels. I know I need emails. How do I make all this shit actually work and function together and work on autopilot to give me the lifestyle that this ad sold me, right? So my team, we bridge that gap by giving you the strategy, which is the most important part. A lot of people get stuck up on spending $5,000, $10,000 on this big pretty website, and they have no strategy on how to get visitors to that site to actually consume their content and monetize their brand. There's no strategy in the content that they're releasing. They're not omnipresent. So what we do is we sit down with you and we come up with a brand strategy first. And then my team of specialists, we build out the perfect platform to automate your vision, to make your dreams come to reality with technology.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, because a lot of times, even we've done it. We bought into a course before and we finished it up and we got to the end of the course, and all of a sudden I'm like, Luke, so how do we drive traffic to what we just like figured out? How do we convert from the things that we've invested into? And that's a real struggle, I think, for a lot of chiropractors out there. And then they meet some Facebook ad specialist that says, hey, come on board with me. I'll drive you in all these leads. But then the chiropractor comes to me and they're like, dude, I work with this guy and he sends me in all these like poor quality leads, and they don't convert, and they can barely buy their $21 offer to come in and see me. And then they show up and they don't even know why they're here for. They think they're getting a massage.
Yeah, exactly. And marketing is all about the right message to the right person at the right time, right? Anybody could build a fucking funnel and say, come to my office for $20, but why would you do that? It degrades you as a person, degrades the value that you're providing to that person in that community, Why not lead with value and have a proper content strategy that's going to show the right message to the right person at the right time? Make them fall in love with you and your practice, and they will come back every single time.
Yeah, I think that that's a big distinction between the people that do work and the people that get results. Because anybody can go out there and start an agency. Anybody can go out there and send 100 messages through Facebook Messenger a day and try to drum up business.
Yeah. And see, in my background, right, I was doing this for Microsoft for 6 years. I ran enterprise level servers managing email and delivery for companies like McDonald's, the U.S. Navy, the U.S. Army, Nike, so on and so forth, Microsoft customers. And there was one day when the McDonald's servers went down and they lost $21 million. But it was nothing. It's nothing to them. I want you guys to really soak that in. $21 million is a drop in the bucket to a company like McDonald's. So I wanted to take my skill set and help small business owners and entrepreneurs so I could actually make an impact, make a difference using my skill set. So I'm taking the processes and things that I learned that companies pay millions of dollars for, and I'm applying it to small businesses to automate what they're doing online, to scale them rapidly. Because if I make you a millionaire, Jim, that means so much more to me than if I make McDonald's $1 million.
Hey, I see the synergy too, and I think that that's what the chiropractic profession needs, is they need specialists inside of this arena that are connected to the know, like, and trust. And I think that so many times these, like we were talking, is that with these agencies pop up and they get taught by Dan Henry to go after chiropractors, but they don't even know like the chiropractic lexicon. They don't know the chiropractic vernacular. They don't know what a subluxation is. They don't know what a care plan is. They don't know why a chiropractor should be x-raying. They don't know what like a day 1, day 2 process is. They don't know any of the things that are necessary in order to have the language skill sets to actually sell chiropractic services. So,
yeah, and elevate that customer up your like, know, and trust ladder so they actually fall in love with you. Anybody can get you those shitty, unqualified leads, right? That's one of the things that drives me nuts the most is there's all these gurus out there that are saying, start up an agency, charge people $3,000 a month. And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why? You are not a fucking expert. So first of all, you're going to charge them $3,000 a month for shitty leads. So then when they talk to a real expert like me, they're going to have all this fear and shit in the back of their mind because they just dealt with somebody and I'm the real fucking deal. So, and because there's just so many, and it's such a thing right now. And I think that's another reason why there's so many small business owners not investing in themselves and putting these processes in place once they meet guys like me, because they've already been burned, because there's guys like Dan Henry saying, build a 6-figure agency and be a millionaire and have a fucking Lambo on the beach in 3 months. And you got these motherfuckers out here going to get clients, charging them between $2,000 to $10,000 a month for a service they haven't even proven. They don't have any results. They've never ran a fucking ad. Like I'm in part of some of these groups and they say, yay, just landed my first client for $2,500 a month. How do I get them to add me to their business manager? I'm like, you fucking don't even know how to get added to business manager. You're charging somebody $2,500 a fucking month. Is there no fucking ethics in business anymore? Like when I first got started, I was charging motherfuckers a couple $100s. I was like, look, I'm brand new at this. I'm just trying to figure it out. I just need a couple $100 to cover my time, and I've even done it for free for people just to get the video testimonial so I can show I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's tainting the arena. And I think it is because it's so popular. It's putting that fear in people that shouldn't be there.
Well, what it is we're in a red ocean industry with marketing agencies and people coming after the chiropractic profession because they look like easy targets and low hanging fruit. But really what happens is they see me They see what Luke and I do with Chiro Hustle as one of their trusted resources, and they say, I want to work with you guys. Can you point me in the right direction? And that's really where we've been able to save some of our clients and say, you know what? I want you to go see what Marv's doing. I want you to at least take a consultation with him. The guy's an expert with building funnels. He's an expert with automation. He's an expert with email marketing. He's an expert with driving traffic, the proper leads to get, build up your audience and like make it like warm, make it, take the cold and make them warm and take the warm and make them hot, and really moving people through the funnel system of like an ad agenda, and not just saying, hey, I can run you ads and get you leads. And
Yeah.
how do I set up an ads manager now?
Yeah, and that's obviously that's really one of the most common misconceptions that I get, right? Like a lot of people, because that's the other side of the coin, is like the people that aren't as educated, right? And shout out to the newbies. Hey, we were all there once, right? Like I'm not knocking you for doing what I'm knocking you for is charging a premium for a basic service, right? So when I get clients that come to me and I'm starting to go into email automation and funnels, they don't realize the money is in the follow-up. They think all the money, like I'm going to turn on Facebook ads and be a millionaire overnight. So like that's the biggest misconception that I have to work on breaking with every single client is no, this is a numbers game. There's a billion people on Facebook. We have to spend money to filter out your 1,000 people out of that billion people. And you have to drop content to appeal to those people, right? Like there's a whole process to it. That's why there's email and automation, because when they first see you, they just know you. They don't like you and trust you. But if you're emailing them and you're saying, hey, I saw you watch this video, and they're like, oh, that's funny. How'd you know I watched that video? Oh, because I have advanced targeting in the back end that tells me exactly where you are in my value ladder. So I know exactly what content to send you in, right? So there's just a lot of people don't know how many wheels are turning in the back end because all they've experienced is that I'm going to turn on ads and make $1 million. And unfortunately, that's a huge misconception.
So tell us about some of your mentors, your idols, or some other figures that you look up to.
So my biggest mentor and idol would have to be Billy Jean. He runs a marketing agency down in San Diego. It's called Billy Jean is Marketing. When I first started my adventure, I had bought a few courses. And I had followed a couple guys by then. The very first course I ever bought was by this dude named Joe Kasherba. It was one of those fucking typical learn how to charge your clients $10,000 for a WordPress site. And I go through his training. I'm like, this is the most basic fucking WordPress training I've ever had in my goddamn life. I haven't learned anything, right? And I got a couple of those courses where I'm like, what the fuck is this basic shit people are putting out? Like, I'm $7,000 in the hole and I haven't learned shit, right? So it actually burned me, right? I was that customer that was like, fuck that. I'm going to do it on my own. I'm not buying any more courses. I'm not doing any more coaching. And then Billy Jean started showing up, but Billy Jean did it the right way. He gave me free content, and then I was watching his content. After a few months of consuming his content and getting into his network, he presented me with an offer to go to San Diego. I was like, man, nah. And then he hit me again, and it was like, watch my webinar, right? And then, so I joined his webinar, and at the end of the webinar, he's pitching his ticket to his live event, the first event that he's doing in San Diego. And like nobody's biting, and like it's like a $500 ticket. And I'm like, fuck, why is nobody biting on that? It's such a good deal. Fuck it, I'm gonna bite on it. And then he stands up and he takes off his shoes. There's slippers that are shaped like bare feet, like fuzzy with the nails and everything. And he goes, the next person that buys a ticket, I will send you my shoes. And I was like, that's it. That's enough for me to pull the trigger because that is so outlandish and crazy. I'm doing it right now. I bought the ticket. I went to San Diego. It was a life-changing event for me. Right? I paid the extra money to get the hotel that was in the event, the Hard Rock Hotel in California, and I paid the extra money so I could do the VIP meet and greet with him and ask him questions. And so when I got my opportunity to talk to him, I was like, Billie Jean, I'm Big Marv. I just left Microsoft to pursue this entrepreneur thing, but I'm scared I'm going to waste all my money and end up going back to work for Microsoft because I can't figure this out because there's so many people in this space. Well, I had not known that he already knew who I was and watched some of my videos before. So he goes, Big Marv, here's the difference between you and everybody else. You're the real fucking deal. You're Mr. Microsoft. You didn't just buy a course. You're coming into this actually knowing what the fuck you're doing, what you're talking about. So just keep creating the videos, keep doing what you're doing. You're going to make it. I promise you. Follow these processes. You're going to make it. And I went through his course. I went through his content. They actually had a VIP after party. So he has his inner circle, which is like 5 Gs every 6 months, right? I'm not part of that inner circle. But I had networked so much during the event that when I showed up to the inner circle party that night at the bar, they didn't even check the list or nothing. They were like, "What's up, Big Marv? Come on in," and then I networked with everybody. And then the next day was the inner circle training, right? I don't know if you've seen it, but I have a t-shirt that says "fucking do it." I got that shirt because that was his inner circle training, and he gave that shirt to everybody in his inner circle. And they didn't even bother verifying that I was in the inner circle. They just asked me what my shirt size was, told me to go ahead, go to the room. Like an hour into the training, one of his guys, they caught on that I just snuck into this fucking $2,000 training for free. And they were like, Big Marv, I hate to do this to you, but everybody paid $2,000 to sit in that room. You gotta leave. But they let me keep the shirt. And it just basically, like, that whole weekend just changed my life, my outlook on everything. And I started just consuming his content. And then I met Russell Brunson.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This week's episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Posture Screen, Imaging Services, Zingit Solutions, Chiro Moguls, 5-Star Management, Chiro Health USA, Local Gold, Rhino Coaching, Mahalo Wellness, Chiro Thin, Peter Goldman Zone School of Healing, Go Get Talks, Fit to Lift, The Goodman Factor, Unmarket Your Practice, and McCaffrey Clinical Mentoring. Let's hustle.
I've read .com secrets and based my entire Big Marv brand on .com secrets and expert secrets. My entire automation strategy comes from what I've learned in expert secrets and the Funnel Hackers Cookbook from Russell Brunson. So combination of Billie Jean and Russell Brunson kind of helped me form my business and market it the way that I do. Then I've Rudy Moore with ROI Machines. He hired me as his project manager to scale him to 7 figures. He needed somebody to revamp their back end and process. So managing his agency for 8 months, I got exposed to a lot of 6 and 7 figure builds, funnel builds, and automation sequences. So basically, I just took what I knew already and applied it to these 6 and 7 figure funnels, made them skyrocket, and have just ironed out a process. So now I currently have Cole Vandy as my copywriting coach. I have Jim Chester as my business and life coach. And I have Billie Jean as my marketing coach. And then I consume Russell Brunson's content and buy whatever he releases to expand my funnel knowledge. I spend about 20 to 30 hours a week working on client work and 10 to 20 hours a week expanding my mind, learning more about funnels, automation, staying up on the platforms, etc.
Did you at least get the bear slippers?
Fuck yeah, I got the bear slippers. The bear slippers are actually with a seamstress down in Cottage Grove right now, getting leather insoles redone, some new fur put in, like getting done up right.
So as you've come into this journey, we have a special sponsor called Chiro Thin, and we're going to do this weight loss challenge with you coming up here in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, what are you most excited about? I know that you're really embodying a healthier lifestyle, and you're really paying more attention to your health. What do you hope to walk away with after the 2 months of being on that course with me?
Well, one, I've already, like you said, I've changed my entire lifestyle to be a healthier lifestyle.
You quit smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, well, I haven't quit completely, but I'm almost there. Um, I I was 340 pounds pre-diabetic, and basically changed my entire life, and like it's so good for me. But most of the people around me aren't on the same style of journey, right? Most of the people around me are already skinny, so they don't give a fuck, or they're fat and they just accept it, and they're just like, whatever, I do you, boo boo, like whatever you're gonna do, but I'm not trying to work out with you and stuff. So when you presented yourself, I was like, well, one, I love Jim and he's awesome and he's already helped me so much, so why not? Two, I was like, what's the worst that could happen? Right? Because for me in my life, some of the best things that have happened in my life have come from what if situations, right? Like when you're about to do something, your brain automatically floods you with what if this happens? 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 Right? So when you approached me and said, "Hey, are you willing to give me your life for 2 months?" I got that flood of, but what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? As soon as my brain does that, I say, "Fuck it, I'm in." Because some of the best things in my life have happened because of what if. Going to San Diego, right? That's when I first quit Microsoft. I had just enough money in my bank account to live for 2 months. And I spent over half of it on that San Diego trip. And you can imagine the what if questions I had in my brain when I was spending that money. What if my business doesn't work out? Am I going to pay rent next month? Am I going to get my car repoed? Am I going to have food? But it fucking worked out. After coming back from San Diego, I took my agency from 0 to 6 figures in 7 months.
Well, here's the thing: is eventually we might have to rename you to Little Marv,
right? Yeah, so I'm just looking forward to Chiro Thin, like just boosting what I'm already doing. I'm looking forward to working with the group, keeping each other accountable, just just having fun, networking. And it's all about a healthier lifestyle and being the best versions of ourselves. So I'm 100% behind that.
So what's one word of advice you would give to a struggling entrepreneur or business owner?
To realize everything boils down to money or time. When you're out here looking at courses and you're looking at other successful people, don't have shiny toy syndrome. You need to focus. Focus, Focus, follow one course until successful, right? Find what you're passionate about. Never chase money. And once you find your why, whatever you're passionate about, it doesn't fucking matter what it is. We're in the info age, so it doesn't matter what your personal brand is about. If you're passionate about it, I can guarantee you there's 1,000 other people out there that are just as passionate as you are about that thing, right? Find that thing, then find somebody else doing that thing that is absolutely fucking killing it. They're living the life you want to live. They've walked the journey you're going down right now. Follow their processes. If they sell courses and they have inner circles and they follow what they're doing, don't follow all these fucking turn on ads and make $1 million. Hell, don't even follow me and pay me to do shit if I don't align with you, right? You need to vet whoever you're going to follow and work with and make sure they're on a similar journey and they're either have been where you are or they're going where you are before you start investing. Because that was my mistake, and that's what scared me from investing, because it's important to invest in yourself and to expand, right? Because I took my agency from 0 to 7 figures in 6 months, but that was on my own, working 70 hours a week, doing everything by myself. As soon as I got coaches and started replicating processes that worked, I was having $20,000 months regularly, working half the time. This year, I'm serving less than half of the clients, making double the money because now I found that why, and I found people that I align with. So that's my biggest piece of advice is everything boils down to time or money. So focus on whatever you're passionate about and chase that 100%.
So,
Don't fall for the courses. Don't fall for the shiny toy syndrome. If you're killing it on Facebook and somebody's like, "Hey, have you checked out YouTube? It's super cheap to get." Like, I don't even run YouTube ads because Facebook and Instagram is my platform. There are YouTube specialists out there. I have a YouTube guy on my team to take care of YouTube shit because that is not my arena. I'm not going to spend time or money on that because that's not my passion. I don't give a fuck about it. Right? So you do the same thing. Don't follow money, follow your passion, and realize everything boils down to time or money. So if you're chasing your passion, you're either going to spend a shit ton of time trying to learn how to do it, right? Because you have your passion where you're creating content, but you also have to create funnels, emails, automation, websites, and everything else to actually monetize that brand. So you can spend all the time in the world trying to learn those crafts, right? Because most people don't have the capital in the beginning, right? But just pick one and focus on that and do just that until you're successful. Then take the money that you make from that. Don't go buy your fucking Lambo yet. Reinvest in your business and automate it. Turn it on autopilot. Make it a passive income. Then go buy your Lambo.
so based on what you said, let's talk about team a little bit. Why is it so important as you start to develop your skill sets to start diversifying and delegating and building a team around you?
Because you can serve your clients better. You're staying in your lane, right? You're only doing what you're passionate about. Like, take me for example, and my team. I know how to run Facebook ads. I know how to run Instagram ads. I know how to write. I have a copywriting coach, right? I know how to write emails. I know how to build automations. I know how to build funnels. I know how to develop websites from scratch. I can build your full e-commerce store and your membership site. But what I'm passionate about, what I love the most, is having sessions like this one-on-one with my students and discussing the strategy and coaching them through how to do those things, right? And so for me to serve those people and to use all my time for that, I can't spend all my time having all my coaching sessions and building the websites and doing the Facebook ads and doing the emails and doing all the copywriting and managing everybody and paying everybody, you know? Then I'd be going back to my year one where I'm working 70 fucking hours a week. I had quit Microsoft so I don't have to do that. So now I can only work 20 or 30 hours a week. I have a full team of dedicated staff where my web developer, that's his shit. That's what he loves to do. He fucking can code in his sleep. My copywriter, they love to fucking write. Let them write. My designer, they love to play in Photoshop. Let them play in Photoshop. My Facebook ad guy loves reading fucking analytics. He loves chopping that shit down and finding exactly where that customer is in the journey and where to take them to next. My passion is creating content for people and going one-on-one and teaching. So one, it allows you to stay in your lane so you can just become the very best at your craft and stay passionate and focused on that. Two, you're building a team and you're letting them create lives of freedom, doing what they love. Three, it allows you to scale, right? Because if you're the only motherfucker there, there's only so much time in a day. There's only so much time in a week. How many motherfuckers can you honestly serve if you're the only person there doing the work? Right? Like like I told you guys, I'm serving half the clients now, making more than double what I was making last year because I built a team. And yeah, I only make $1,000 to $2,000 on a $10,000 retainer. But guess what? That just means I can do 30 $10,000 retainers instead of 3. You know what I'm saying? And now everybody on my team gets a piece of that 10K. And they're all living a great life. And it's amazing. Your network is your net worth. So find people that are killing it, enable them to do their passion so you can continue to do yours. It all boils down to time or money anyways. You
That's
want to
good
spend time
advice.
doing it yourself, or you want to pay money to get an expert to do it, right?
No, it's good advice. And I think that everybody out there that's watching is going to walk away some takeaways. And they're going to feel better about how they basically delegate to their chiropractic team. And they're going to realize that they need to have somebody that does marketing external that's a specialist, and they shouldn't rely on their CA to do it constantly. And then they're going to realize that their CA is a specialist with booking people and collecting money, and that's what they do. And they return calls and they get people back on the books. And that's why that person signed up. They didn't sign up to go do marketing events. So I think that that's something that's important to know is that person that shoots x-rays and analyzes x-rays, that's their sweet spot. That's what they should be doing. You shouldn't have this catch-all employee that like juggles everything and spins plates at the same time and then collects money, reschedules people, calls people that didn't make their visits, and tries to like be all hats at one time. And I think that's what they fall into, Marv, in chiropractic offices is they get one employee and they're like, do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. And before you know it, that person's gonzo.
Yeah. And your turnover rate's probably terrible, right? They probably don't stick around. But if you're living a life of passion, everybody on your team, you should be enabling them to live a life of passion as well. If they're not absolutely in love with what they're doing, get the fuck off my team. I do not want to be the person that keeps you from living a life of passion. If you're working on my team just for money, get the fuck off my team. You know what I'm saying? Like, and look at it this way, right? If you're debating, like, should I hire a marketing guy? Should I hire this person? Should I hire a specialist for that? I've built my first computer at 10 years old. I've had countless jobs in IT. I've spent over $30,000 just in the last 2 years perfecting my craft. I've built hundreds of funnels, run thousands of ads, spent over $100,000 on Facebook advertising. So do you really think you're going to be able to build a funnel and run an ad better than me? If you've never run a funnel before, if you've never run Facebook ads before, you've never written an email before. So how much money is it actually costing your business for you to, one, you got to take your time. So your time's worth something. You got to take your time to learn this shit. Two, you're going to spend money learning Facebook ads. Sorry to tell you, boo-boo, but you're about to spend a couple $1,000s falling on your face before you figure it out. Three, how much, it goes back to time. You spend 4 to 6 weeks trying to learn this shit just to get to the end of 6 weeks and still not do it as good as a specialist. So how much capital could you have made your company in that 6 weeks period? How much other shit could you have done, like reading more about chiropractic care, just becoming a better chiropractor, living a better life? All that time you spent trying to learn a skill set that's not even your specialty, that you're just doing it right now to try to save some fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Build your craft. Let the specialists that are good at their shit do theirs, and then you do you, boo-boo.
So what kind of books are you in the middle of reading? What other podcasts do you listen to? And what are some of your hobbies?
I don't really have time for podcasts, but when I do listen to them, JRE, Joe Rogan Experience, I listen to your shit, but that's when I catch it on Facebook. And I listen to Russell Brunson and Snoop Dogg. That's just because, so I don't really listen to podcasts. What I do is I listen to like webinars or pre-recordings or whatever. That's like just interviews like this in general, right? I'll just put it on my second monitor and let it play. But I just don't have a ton of time. But when I do, that's when I do it. I like JRE and Snoop Dogg and Billy because they relate to me. We speak the same language, right? So I get to see a lot of their background, like how organic and open they are. Russell Brunson is kind of bougie for me. He's fucking Christian. He doesn't cuss. Like, I don't even know if I'd be allowed at Funnel Hacking Live because I wouldn't be able to wear a sleeveless t-shirt and I wouldn't be able to drop the F-bomb and smoke weed. So I don't even know if I can go to Funnel Hacking Live. But Russell Brunson is a fucking marketing genius. So he spits fire every time I listen to him.
And what are your
And as
hobbies?
far as books, The Wolf of Copywriting is what I'm consuming right now. Is how to write like the wolf.
We lost Big Marv.
Yeah, write like the wolf. That's what it's called. It's by Cole Vandy. If you go to Copywriting Book, I think it's copywritingbook.com or .net, you can grab it. But literally, copy is so important to your business. Like, I've had a copy coach for the last year, and when I tell you it has doubled my business, it has literally doubled my business having better copy. Because your copy is the language that people see. You have a beautiful fucking website, but if you have shitty copy that doesn't really explain your story, what they're getting from you and why they're there, you're gonna lose them. So copy is one of the biggest things I read about. Like, if I have spare time and I'm learning a new craft, copy and email. That's like, if you take one thing away from this call, copy and email. Get better at that. You can have a shitty ad, you can have a shitty funnel, you have a shitty website. If you're really good at copy and email, they're going to come back and buy from you no matter what, because ugly funnels convert.
You know, some of the things you say in this whole conversation, find a leader that has done it before you. That's why I joined Ed Osborne's inner circle. That's why I follow every step of the way that he has paved out, because I believed in his mission. I believed in how he could rally his copy the right way and get people to actually buy into what he was producing and how he could make a movement. And he's mobilized a chiropractic marketplace that was once dead. And he's brought resurrection back to the chiropractic marketing world. And that's where I said, you know what? I'm going to pay attention to everything and everything that Ed did. I said, I'm going to pay attention to everything that Ed did. And here's a tip for everybody out there. Ed hired Russell Brunson as his coach. So when I found out that Ed hired Russell Brunson as his coach, I said, who do I knock on the door of and say, hey, will you coach me? And then that's why I picked Ed Osborne as our coach. And it's been life-changing, man. And when you find your tribe and you find people that appreciate you and support you and fill your cup back up when it's empty and give you gratitude and appreciation, man, there's nothing like it. And then I can find guys like you and build a relationship with you, because I'm a stronger leader and I can make time for people now, because now what I've been able to do is learn these different things that you teach us, the automation. Jim, get the videos to me. What is your ideal client? How are you going to convert this person? Say it this way. And some of the things that you coach me on, now I have 3 coaches. I have a business coach, I have the automation and the back end ClickFunnels coach, and then I have the guru that I've been following now, Ed. So when it comes to the team that we've built, Luke is a specialist. Luke is an editor. Luke is a producer. Luke is a director. So when you team up us, now we have this big force. And now you're a component. Ed's a component. Larry's a component. We have just all these amazing people that are working in unison with us now for what is BJ Palmer's work, the big idea. And now we're getting the big idea out to more people. And it's because we all pay attention. We all read .com secrets. We all read expert secrets. We all took on the coaches. We all follow the charismatic leadership. And now we're all realizing that together, we're bigger and badder together than we were on the little islands by ourselves. And that's the message to the chiropractors. Is Ed's message was always, we're all more alike than we're different. And my message is, we're all stronger together and we're only one story away. Like Russell would always say, you're only one
funnel away.
Yep.
One funnel away. Exactly.
And now I've adopted, you're only one story away. So if we just keep on telling the story, and Marv, that's the thing in chiropractic, they've always lived on this concept. If we just tell the story more, we'll tell the story more, we'll tell the story more. Well, how about we amplify the story? And how about we get consistent with the story? And how about we get people that are not chiropractors telling the story? And that's where I see us coming together and really making an impact as a unit. Now we have 3 non-chiropractors talking chiropractic, helping this profession that are the healers stay in their lane. Whereas now we can be in our lane, which is our soul genius, and we can pour into what we do best. And now we can amplify the projection of chiropractic that's never been done like what we're doing together. So
yeah, and that's my specialty, is taking your message, your passion, and putting it in front of thousands. Right? So you can focus on your message and your passion, and I can focus on getting it to the right people. And then so together we blow you up. Like that's and that's my favorite fucking thing. Like McDonald's and in the Navy and shit, it was awesome whenever I finished their contract super fast. Great. I've saved them millions and millions of dollars that they already have anyways. When I take somebody from 0 to fucking thousands of followers in a month and just have people that are like, oh my God, people like, I have this dude named Uncle Bob, right? He's just this old dude down in California. What he does is he plays spoons, the gut bucket, the washboard, and he just wanted to create a channel where he could share his music, his love of music, barbecue, and plants with the world. So we started running campaigns and warming him up. He went from 0 to 2,300 followers in 3 weeks. And now every time he posts a video, he gets hundreds of views, people commenting, sharing it, telling him how much he lights up their world. Their day gets better every time they hear his spoons, things like that. So, and that's what does it for me. It's not the money. It's not the reputation. It's like somebody was able to go from nothing and really pursue their dream following my strategy, and I helped them create that. That's what does it for me.
Well, Marv, we are coming up on the edge of our time today. We didn't even get a chance to talk about your Volkswagens, but Marv has some old school Volkswagens that he restores and takes them to car clubs and all that.
Oh yeah, when I'm not on the computer, I'm out in the garage building cars and bikes. I run a club called the Dirty Germans.
Well, before we wrap everything up, what are some social media links or web links where people can find you and reach out to you if they want?
I am Big Marv on everything. So if you just go to marvinsworld.us, that's my blog. Or if you look me up on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, it is at Marv at Night, MarVatNight. Or just search Big Marv, you'll find me. I'm not hard to miss.
Awesome.
And just know this, guys, you're going to either love or hate me. I'm cool with that. So if you don't like what you see, just close the fucking page and move on. But know this, if you do watch the videos, I run ads and I will retarget you.
Well, Marv, we do love you and thank you for supporting Chiro Hustle as a brand and us as your friends. And anyone out there that wants to work with Big Marv, reach out to me, or you can go to any of his links that he mentioned to you. And this is episode 131 and it's in the books. And we love and appreciate you. And you guys are just one story away. Keep hustling.
See you, Big
Marv. Love you guys. Have a good one. One love, guys.
See you, Marv.
Thanks for listening to Chiro Hustle. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.